Hello, this is seewingyee from the Year Real Estate Network. Welcome to another edition of a webinar presentation. And let's get to it. This is a November 2018 Buffalo inventory listing. So this is hot off the press. I just received this spreadsheet a few moments ago. Today is Tuesday, November the 6th, I believe, at 9:16 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right. So without further ado, just listen and listen carefully with respect to my perspective as I analyze this spreadsheet. By the way, I'm looking at this spreadsheet for the first time. All right. So this is a real-time analysis, if you will. So just bear with me, okay? And then, of course, after that, you can do your own due diligence and research, and we take it from there. All right, there's two categories for sale. The top category is Buffalo, New York listings, and the bottom one is Niagara Falls, New York listings. So let's go over the Buffalo first. Now, some of these listings was on the last inventory sheet, October that is, and they are still available. Some of this property has been available for sale uh, since a month ago. So for whatever reason, however, having said that, this off-market inventory obviously sells very, very quickly. All right, so I'm going to highlight what I think is important. If I do not talk about certain properties on here, then I don't know. I don't. Perhaps I don't have enough time to talk about it. So this is I'm going to limit this presentation to 20 minutes or so. All right. So as you can see on the Buffalo listing, I'm not going to talk about the homeowner sale. Homeowner sale category are specifically geared toward owner occupied purchases in the Buffalo market. All right. So these are not for out of state investors. So I'm just using my recollection as I look at these addresses. I can pretty much determine whether some of these properties are brand new listings or they are old listings. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about the old listings for whatever reason because I already talked about that in the past. So if I can determine some newer listings, you can potentially purchase. All right, so I'll be real quick as again on Buffalo, the market is a little bit better than Niagara Falls, better neighborhoods, whatever. So the prices are higher slightly, and but the cap rate, as you can see here, are a little bit slower. That means cash flow. Let me see if anything jumps out uh, to me. Uh, but over here, I do not believe some these two properties are. I believe these two properties right here, 114 Twindle or 279 Whitfest, could be a brand new listings. But it looks pretty enticing. It's a 11% cap rate, which is still pretty good. But this is a DBI means is a duplex. So this is a $96,500 duplex, rents for $1,400 both sides, both units combined. So this seems like a pretty good deal. Then here's okay, hold on. So as you can see the remarks on right side, some of the investors already reserved some of these properties. So the majority of the Buffalo inventory or either has been reserved by out-of-state investors, some of our investors, of course, and then some are under contract, and the rest are homeowner sales. So let's not go over that. And then the bottom half of the Buffalo listings, then you will continue with this section are available for out-of-state investors and overseas investors as well. Let me see what else that jumps out at me. Oh yeah, this section is not bad, right? 14% cap rate, 12%, 16, almost 17% cap rate, almost 16% cap rate. These are the really very extremely high cash flow. But I see some of these was on the inventory last month, so I'm not gonna go over that. So don't ask me why it has taken them over 30 days to sell, but there must be some kind of reason. Maybe the rehab is not finished, whatever. You can find more details if you're willing to consult with my Buffalo partner, Mr. Keith Kanazi. So let me see. Yeah, a lot of these are uh, from the last month as well. Yeah, so a lot of these are under contract, reserved, under rehab, and still not sold for various reasons with respect to Buffalo. So having said that, the Niagara Falls property usually have much more abundance inventory and many more properties for sale at any given time at any given month. So plus there are a lot of inventory, a lot more than Buffalo, and the cash flow is very high, extremely high. The cap rate is just mind-boggling, something I have not ever seen before in my lifetime anywhere else. All right, so let me see. So some of these are like 19% cap rate. This is mind-boggling. We're talking almost 20% cap rate on this particular property, 423 18th Street. It doesn't have any kind of remarks on here. That means uh, it's not official, but is not have not been reserved by anyone. It's not under contract by anybody. But this particular is a 3 unit. It's a triplex right here, right? Selling for a mere 63,500. Is rent for $1,340 on all three sides. So which is amazing cash flow, amazing returns. All right, and let me see what else. This one, 455 13th Street. This is a duplex. DBI means duplex. SGI means single family home rental units. Okay, so just so you know, most of you already are aware of it. But ready means they're ready to be sold right now. Right, ready means the tenant is already in place. The property has been as rehab as possible, turnkey, ready to go. And future properties are you can reserve it, but it may take few more weeks down the road before the rehab is done or before they place a tenant in here. But you can buy both, right? You can buy ready for a quick close, if you especially when you buy with all cash or with your self-directed IRA, you can do a quick close. You can do financing on most of these properties, which is another amazing value here in the Buffalo market. And like I said, future properties are under rehab. You can reserve it if you like it. If you research justify you doing it. All right, so this is a good property right here. A duplex for 55,500, rents for 1,100. We're talking at least 2% rent to value ratio and a whopping 18% cap rate, which is mind-boggling. Some of these better properties, as you can see on the remarks section, has been reserved. Excuse me, by very savvy, smart investors that are they they do research in advance of everybody else. You got to be smart about it, right? You got to be proactive. You got to be first one to pull the trigger, and the early bird catches the worm, right? Like we all said, and it applies to real estate. So again, this cap rate in Niagara Falls is pretty amazing. 15, 16% over here, 19% cap rate. Oh, this was a is a layover from last month. So I can't tell actually on the Niagara Falls based on the addresses because there's so many properties. I cannot tell whether this is the carryover from the previous month inventory or not. But nevertheless, they are available. And of course, the duplex, like I said, from here, I mean, multi units from here to here, DBI means duplex, I told you. So then the duplex is, can be as much as little as like 40 to $55,000 in the Niagara Falls area, and the rent is $1,000. So it's a 2% rent to value ratio. Once again, it's just mind-boggling. And then we come down here, the next 7 properties are sell to homeowners, so that does not apply to you. So let's skip that small section, and then we proceed with the single-family home. This is the beginning of the single-family homes. On this particular property, you can see the address. I don't need to name the address, right? You can see it for yourself. Uh, but this is $30,000 single-family home, Niagara Falls, renting for $600. So it's amazing. Uh, more than 2% rent to value ratio, almost 19% cap rate. So all these are single family homes in Niagara Falls, 37,000, 43,000, for a low, around $40,000 range. Perfect for your IRAs, perfect for all cash, quick close purchases, right? And the rent, you can see the rent more than double their typical cash flow from any other market in the country. As you can see, 14, 15, 18% cap rate is just, again, pretty much mind boggling. So I think I'm going to conclude this almost. Give me a few more minutes. Here in Niagara Falls, like I said, a lot of single family homes. Most of these low prices, it's kind of hard to get financing unless the property is basically more than like 50,000. You can do 20 to 25% financing. That is still a pretty good deal. Uh, but a lot of these you might as well buy with cash. There's such a low amount. Isn't it amazing, right? A property only costs like 40 grand. Single family home, you rent for $750. It's just I don't know what to say. It's just a cash cow, totally passive income. You can buy multiple of these homes with cash or IRAs, and you can set yourself up for retirement. It's turnkey passive. Uh, our Buffalo team have two property management companies. They have an in-house property management company in Buffalo, and then they have an outside third-party property management in Niagara Falls. Okay, so I think that's concluded everything. The rest of the time, you do your own due diligence, and of course, I can help you with it. So all I have to do is contact myself, so I know who you are. Especially for those of you who are first timers, and many of you already purchased before in my network, and many of you also recently have purchased Buffalo. You know who you are. You can consult with me a little bit more if you wish. Other than that, go directly to Mr. Keith Kanazi. He's the primary go-to guy in Buffalo. So all this you can read about our my comments, and of course, let me scroll down here. Let's go Keith Kanazi's contact information, his phone number, his email address. Best time to, if you're truly motivated, if you got pre-approved for loan, if you already prove you have all cash uh, funds available, we already consulted with each other, you're super motivated, then you can contact, the next step after you consult with me is contact Keith Kanazi. Of course, he's the owner and founder of Buffalo Turnkey Property. He's been doing it for more than 30 years, just so you know how legitimate and how reputable, how professional they are. Okay, and I highly encourage you to visit Buffalo. Many of our investors recently also have visited Buffalo, and they have they've had a very good tour, and many of them are buying multiple properties for those that visually went to the tour. Okay, I know it's kind of far away. I know it's kind of cold in winter time, but it's doable. Okay, and all right, this is the past listings. Just give you a synopsis about the tremendous numbers, typical pictures. A lot of these properties, you can go through inspection report, right? And they'll fix whatever remaining major items on the inspection report. Minor items they may or may not fixed, but it's okay. Still rentable, still turnkey. And let me see what else. Toward the bottom, of course, the steps are, especially your first timer never communicated with me in the past. It's important for you to contact myself first, so I know who you are. What's your goals, objectives, and then what's your motivation and all that, and your financial resources available. Then, of course, if you're using your IRA, you can contact my IRA custodians. If you buy with all cash, please provide proof of funds or what have you. And let me see what else. Then the point of contact for regular investment loan, get pre-approval. That's critical. Contact my Wells Fargo. He's my primary loan agent, Richard Avani. Then, of course, if you want to roll over your traditional IRA from your previous employer 401k, you may do so and contact Mr. Ken Weber from Equity Trust, one of the largest self-directed IRA custodial company in the country. Ken Weber and Equity Trust. His contact information here. All right, and that's pretty much it. Okay, thank you so much, and looking forward to working with all of you. This is SeeWing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network. Good luck. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.